Welcome back to the Shane and I Show. My name is Shane.
My name's Max, and I've slept in a yurt.
You slept in what?
A yurt.
What's a yurt?
It's like Mongolian tent.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, because you're a fancy traveling guy.
Yeah, though that actually, when I slept in the yurt, it was because I was being punished.
What were you being punished for?
I'm not entirely certain, but I was being punished.
Okay. So we'll get back to that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This is a podcast about nothing.
That makes you think of something.
And as always, we are sponsored by Mind Grinder Coffee, www.mindgrindercoffee.com.
Fucking get some.
Go get some. $15. I tell you guys all the time, it's $15. $5 shipping. You buy 2 bags of coffee, use code FREESHIPPING24 at checkout. You get free shipping.
Get the fucking coffee, guys.
Get the fucking coffee. We got a medium roast coming out at the, I want to say middle of January, maybe the end of January. I'm still working some stuff out.
Yeah, it's tasty. I've had it. You'll like it. Just fucking get it.
It's not drop shipping. It's not drop shipping. I get asked all the time. I'm not drop shipping coffee. This is actually, I've done the research on this stuff. I get it wholesale. They ship it to me. I do all the packaging myself. I do all the labeling myself. I ship it to you myself. It's me.
Yeah. There it is.
Anyway, so yeah, buy some coffee. That's our sponsor.
Yeah.
For
Mind
today's
Grinder.
episode. As
Mind
always.
Grinder. It's
Yes.
a labor of love. Fucking buy it.
Yes. Yeah, man. How was your New Year's?
That was good, man. I was in bed by, I was up late on New Year's. I didn't go
Holy
to bed.
shit.
Yeah, I didn't go to bed till like 10 o'clock.
Why is that?
Well, I was watching Supernatural with the wife, and we just,
That's a good show.
yeah, and we just wanted to watch one more episode.
You know, that always happens with that show where you're just like, because I've seen that. I've seen all 15 seasons of that show.
Yeah.
And it just happens where it's like, I just start watching. I could pick like in the middle. Oh, I like that episode at season 12. Yada, whatever episode it is. You know what I mean? Season 12, episode 3 or whatever. I start watching it and then I'm just like, oh,
yeah,
here I am.
Yeah. I've watched the first 7 seasons.
Yeah.
And then I never watched any more than that. I just never got, there's so fucking much. I never got around to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I saw Kira watching it with a friend, and I made an offhand comment, a joke about how it's like, yeah, it's tough to get through 15 seasons in one binge. And I thought I was just making a funny, but there actually are 15 seasons of that show. And there's some good, really good ones, and there's some ones where you're just like, eh. Yeah. Anyway, I'm into season 8, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah, season 8 was okay, if I remember right. I won't spoil nothing for you.
Yeah.
That's cool. Mine was mine was interesting. Mine wasn't interesting, actually. I don't know why I said interesting. I just worked until 10 o'clock, and then I got home from work, and I was in bed by 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And
then you got woken up by fireworks?
Yeah, how'd you know?
Because we live in the same town. And I got woken up by fireworks.
Dude, it was like the neighbors across the way. I saved myself there.
Yeah, you did. You fucking did.
The neighbors across the way. They do. I don't know how they get M80s in January, but that's all they were lighting off.
This is America. You can get explosives if you want them.
True that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, people were just lighting off. Like for a couple hours.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. I did not dig it. Ours at our neighborhood. It ended probably. I was probably able to get to sleep by 12:30. I just sound like a complaining old man right now.
You are a complaining old man right now, but I get it, man. I get it. I wanted to fucking go to sleep, right? I'm like, I'm tired. I'm in bed. I'm comfortable. I'd just be about fucking asleep. And then a new round of fireworks would go off.
Right.
A new round of illegal fireworks would go off.
They are illegal in California.
Yeah. And they're double illegal in much of California because the town outlawed them.
Yes.
And the state. And the county.
It's a pretty hefty fine, too.
It's triple illegal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope you got your jollies off. God,
Yeah.
I just sound like a grumpy old man.
That's okay.
I got to snap out of this.
I'm sure.
I got to snap out of this at some point in this episode. So I was thinking, this will get me to it. I was thinking about New Year's resolutions, and I know a lot of people make them. I know a lot of people that don't. I know a lot of people that make fun of them. I'm kind of all three. I've been all three. I've made New Year's resolutions in the past. I haven't made New Year's resolutions. I stopped making New Year's resolutions, and I laughed at people that make resolutions because I think they're silly.
I think most people have been through that
Yeah.
at least once. The whole range of that, and then they
Yeah.
go back to making resolutions. And yeah,
But I was thinking, because everybody always talks about failing, right? Like how people fail after like the first 15 days of January, which
Yeah.
isn't a lot of time to fucking get your New Year's resolutions squared away if you consider 15 days a failure. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's like, come on, man, at least give me a month.
Mhm.
At least give me a month.
Yeah.
But I was thinking personally, like, what's the worst idea I've ever had for a New Year's resolution?
Yeah.
And I came up with one.
Yeah. What was your worst idea you ever had for a New Year's resolution?
So a few years ago, I want to say a few years ago, I was really getting into CrossFit, like really getting into CrossFit.
I remember that you were one of those CrossFit guys.
I was a CrossFit guy.
And you would just unsolicited be like, yo, bro, you got to do CrossFit.
That's what, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I must have been horrible to be around.
You
But
weren't
except
that
I
bad.
never went like paleo or anything like that. So I kind of, you know what I mean? I was kind of okay. I was not all the way. I didn't drink all the Kool-Aid of the CrossFit world. I drank some of the Kool-Aid of the CrossFit.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you still said the words, you got to get your protein.
I still do.
You still do, yeah.
So but it was like right at the beginning where I was so into it. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, fuck, everybody's got to do CrossFit. Everybody should do CrossFit. You know how if you ever go to like a 12-step program and there's always somebody at a 12-step program that's like, oh, everybody needs to do the 12-step.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that when you're in CrossFit.
Yeah.
Right? And like you drink the Kool-Aid, man. And you're like, oh, I'm so into it.
Yeah.
Olympic weightlifting, and you don't even realize they're not even like training you right. You know what I
Right.
mean? For the
Yeah.
Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
You know, you're just so into it. And the trainer I had at the time, he was like, you know, you got to buy in. You got to buy into the whole thing that we're doing here. And I was like, yeah, I gotta fucking buy in.
That sounds culty at that point. Yeah.
He's like, you need to ditch all your addictions. And I'm like, well, I already don't drink. He's like, yeah, but you need to stop that smoking, drinks, quit doing sugar and quit doing coffee. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It took me a while. You'd always be like, how goes the cigarettes? I'm like, oh no, I'm still smoking. Right. Cause I'd walk into that CrossFit gym just probably fucking reeking of cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah. For sure.
And I just walk in there dude, it was like probably the first time that I was actually thinking of quitting smoking, where I was like, if I'm going to do this, like fucking running and all this bullshit,
yeah,
like I should probably like really fucking think about quitting smoking. And then I had this friend, our buddy Ron.
Yeah.
Ron was really into it at the time with me.
Yeah.
This fucking guy would fucking would smoke like 3 cigarettes before we'd go into the gym. Fucking kill a CrossFit, like just naturally, just kill a CrossFit workout, like just like it was no big deal. In his jeans,
yeah,
you know what I mean. In his jeans and no shirt, get done with the CrossFit, chug down a Rockstar, and smoke 4 more cigarettes.
Yeah, Ron is some kind of freak of nature,
Yeah.
and his ability to do things that you just didn't think a human could possibly do.
And it was always like he was always like so nonchalant about it too. He's like, okay, we're done. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like not even be exhausted or anything. What he was probably doing was getting into his car and dying in his car. That's what I think he was
Maybe.
doing.
I think he might be one of those guys who's like fucking eating bacon cheeseburgers into his 90s.
Yeah, he probably is.
Yeah.
Knowing Ron, yeah, he probably is. But anyway, so I was like, well, you know, Ron's still smoking. I could still smoke and do this. But I couldn't, dude. I was fucking dying.
Yeah.
Like I would do these runs. And it was awful. So I was starting to cut back on smoking at the time. So December 31st rolls around, or like end of December rolls around. And the trainer guy's like, so you should make resolutions. And I told him my whole spiel, how I didn't believe it. He's like, yeah, that's because you never stuck to resolutions before. You never stuck to them. Yeah. Right? What kind of, that's not being a man, yada, yada, something like that. Yeah. Some bullshit like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just stick to them. Yeah, that's right. I got willpower, right?
Yeah.
So December 31st, I can't even remember what year it was at this point. But
I can take a guess. I'm gonna say,
because I was still living in Marin.
Yeah. No, I know. And I remember when you were really into CrossFit, It was 2010 or 2011.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So either 2010, December 31st, 2010 or 11, take your pick.
Yeah.
I fucking sit out on my porch. I'm somewhere and I smoke a bunch of cigarettes. And then I drink some coffee at midnight, which wasn't a good idea for me.
Yeah.
But I did it. That was my swan song, right?
Your swan song, yeah.
I still had like a half a pack of cigarettes left. I gave them to some kid. I was like, the whole deal, I'm done.
Yeah.
Keep the game for me. The game, make sure you stay in the game as long as you can, kid. Done, man. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to be a man. I'm going to show my willpower.
Yeah.
Fucking 3 days into this thing, dude.
Yeah.
First two, but I remember day 3. I don't remember the first 2 days, but I remember having this distinct third day where I must have been a miserable piece of shit to be around with no coffee, no sugar, and no cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
Because my roommate at the time went to the store and got me a pack of cigarettes, which he would never do. He got me a pack of cigarettes, a cup of coffee, and a candy bar.
Yeah.
And said, quit being a bitch.
All right.
That was the best day of my life.
Yeah.
Because it was just like smoking. Even though it was 3 days, it seemed like an eternity to me.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the longest at the time I had ever tried to quit smoking.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it was like that first cigarette was the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
That cup of coffee was like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then from then on, I was just like, I'm not going to listen to this guy anymore.
No.
I'll listen to him about training, but I'm not going to listen to him about anything else.
Yeah. This guy don't run my fucking vice.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not going to be able to. So what I learned to do was like maybe not go into the CrossFit gym smelling like a pack of cigarettes. Right.
Fuck it. I wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah. But I started thinking about the people around me and like how some of them were like, it's Marin, dude.
Yeah, you're right. It is Marin where people just wear their giant vaginas on their sleeves.
Yeah.
But I mean, God, I never, when I was smoking, I never for a second gave half a shit.
Either did I, dude.
But
at this point, I was like, maybe I should because I'm trying to get in shape. You know what I mean? Maybe I should like not smoke a couple hours before I go. That was the first time I started cutting back and all that shit.
Oh, all right.
But up until that point, I was like, I didn't care. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know what you mean.
I didn't care. And it was just funny to me. Like, that was the last time I made a resolution, was that year. That was the last time I made a solemn, like I really made a resolution where I really tried.
Yeah.
After that, I was just done with all resolution. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So
I get that. I myself have not made a New Year's resolution in years.
Yeah, but have you ever made one that you knew was a bad idea? Like you knew there was no way you were going to stick to it.
Oh no, I always knew every time I made a New Year's resolution that I would bet money. I would bet all my money that I'm going to break this. Right?
Right.
Either way I win. You know, that's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. But I once quit smoking for New Year's.
Right.
I think
that's the biggest one people do.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. And I made it into, no, that would be a lie. I didn't make it into February. It felt like I made it into February, but I did make it 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
And my girlfriend who I was living with at the time, she kept saying, "You're an asshole since you quit smoking. You're an asshole since you quit smoking."
Is this the legendary Valentine's Day girlfriend?
Yes. Yeah. Anyway. Eventually, she said that one too many times. Right. And so I grabbed her pack of cigarettes. I went outside. I smoked half the pack. I went back in, and then I showed her what an asshole was.
See, I'm an asshole with or without cigarettes.
Yeah.
I'm just an asshole.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I had a point to prove.
Yeah. It's just interesting to be like when you I don't know a lot of people that are successful with them. I don't know, like many. I can't name any of my friends that have ever been successful.
Yeah. New Year's resolutions, I think, are either for like well-disciplined people.
Yeah.
Or just complete bullshit all around.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do them a lot of people are like pretty serious when they make them.
Yeah.
And then like they're a day or two, like me, they're a day or two in and they're like, I don't want to fucking do this.
Yeah.
Why did I decide to do that?
But something I hear about now a lot, instead of like New Year's resolutions, people will do like dry January. So they'll just be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna drink in the month of
Do you
January."
know how hard that is if you're truly a fucking drunk?
Shane, yes, I do know exactly how hard that is if you're a fucking drunk. Yes. But most people don't suffer from alcohol addiction. And for them, it can be a challenge because they want to have that drink after work. But a lot of them do like dry January or fucking no nut November.
That's another one.
I remember when it was no shave November.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I could get on board with that.
That was cool.
No nut November. I don't understand.
Yeah, either do I.
It's
one of those. It's another one of those things. I don't get it, dude.
I don't get it.
There's a lot of stuff that dudes are doing,
but
with females that I just don't get.
But people do it.
Yeah,
people do it. Yeah. So there's all kind of, or people would be like, "Hey, I'm doing a sugar cleanse." Anyway, I think the permanent New Year's resolution thing.
Yeah.
I think society in general realized like that's fucking stupid.
Yeah, I think so. I know. I mean, it seems to always be a big deal. Like people are like, "Oh, I got to change some stuff about my life." I don't know why it's like it's a new year, new me. It's like if you know you had these problems before this year started and you didn't do anything about them in the last year.
Yeah.
What makes you think you're going to do something about them in this next year? I think a lot of things that people go through, they really have to hit, you know what I mean? They have to hit a bot. They have to be like, I don't want to act like this anymore. Or I don't want to fucking, I don't want to feel this way when I eat this garbage.
Yeah. Generally with compulsive behaviors, you do have to hit some kind of like negative place to stop the compulsion. Otherwise it wouldn't be a compulsion.
Right.
Yeah.
But when most people make resolutions to not do something they don't, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to, my New Year's resolution is to stop being negative and be more positive.
Or people also make like, "Oh, I'm going to work out."
Yeah.
I'm going to work out 3 times a week. Yeah. Every week.
I'm that's why the gyms get all excited on New Year's.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, every gym fucking like January is their month. They fill up on fucking more subscriptions or memberships than they can handle, knowing that 90% of these people will show up once or twice and never again.
Yeah. Never again. And they could just keep charging them.
Yeah.
Charging them. That's why a place like Planet Fitness does so well, is because it's like $10 and they don't even care if you go in there and work out. You could just like walk into Planet Fitness, have a bagel and walk out. And they're like, "Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't judge you."
No.
I don't care what people like working out say. That is the fucking most brilliant plan. Cause eventually somebody's going to be like, "I'm going to walk in and get my plate bagel." And the next thing you know, they're like walk past a bagel and they're sitting on an exercise machine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The next thing you know, they're sitting on they're doing 2 exercises and then having the bagel. You know what I mean? But maybe it took them a year to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or because they were just going in there for 6 months and just having a bagel and leaving, or a piece of pizza or a Tootsie Roll or whatever the hell they give out of Planet Fitness.
Dude, I haven't had a Tootsie Roll in ages.
Either have I. But I heard they give them out of Planet Fitness.
I saw a guy eating a Tootsie Roll last week.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's the whole story.
But when I think it's a brilliant fucking it's a brilliant fucking thing, right? It's like, we're going to get these people to pay $10 a month.
Yeah.
And we don't give a shit if they work out.
Right. In fact, it honestly is preferable if they don't.
Yeah.
No wear and tear on the machines.
Yeah. You could come in, hang out, tell all your buddies and friends that you worked out, have a bagel, have a slice of pizza, and leave.
Yeah.
Peace. Maybe get on the cardio machine for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I don't like playing. I've been to one and it creeped me out. I didn't like being there. But
were there people inside?
There was. It wasn't too busy, but you know what it looked like to me? I'm gonna sound snobby about this. It looked like all the people. It looked like all the people that were once at a gym, but maybe got kicked out because of their behavior, or they went to a gym and they got scared, and they decided to go to Planet Fitness. But like the really in shape people that go to Planet Fitness are the ones that definitely have behavior problems, that were like, they got into trouble at a regular gym. And they're like, "No, dude, you can't act that way here.
Yeah, I get that.
You got to go."
I get that. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm one of those people. I used to be kind of like, oh no, this is the only way you, like, throughout my journey of fitness, it's always been, this is the only way you can do it. This is the only way you do it. Now I'm more like, whatever gets you in the door to start moving.
Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part, man.
Yeah. That's the hardest part for anybody.
Yeah.
And that was the hardest part for me for like a long time. And that's why I think I bought into the CrossFit idea, was because like it was other people that looked just like me that were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that was my instructor was just so motivating. You were just like, yeah, I'll run through a wall for you right now.
Yeah.
Right now. I'll just run through a wall for you.
You should have called his bluff. Been like, okay, do it. Nope. I need you to do it right now. Run through that wall.
No, he should have called my bluff, because he could have told me, hey, go run through that wall. And I would have been like, okay, if it's going to like keep me in shape.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't run through walls.
Yeah,
Shane.
I didn't.
Okay,
so he could have told me to.
If I had the power to tell people to run through walls, I don't know if I'd be able to resist it for long.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. You could just be like in a Starbucks. Like, hey, you.
Yeah, so many Starbucks have like floor to ceiling windows.
Yeah,
it's a glass wall.
Yeah,
just be like, run through that.
Don't you want to run through that wall? Right? You don't even, the way you'd say it is just be like, don't you want to run through that wall right now? And they'd be like, yeah.
I
really do.
You'd be like one of those super villains with that power of suggestion power.
Yeah.
Who could be like, you really, like Jedi mind trick everybody to do fucked up shit.
Yeah. There was an episode of Supernatural where there was one of the archangels. I can't remember which one it was, but he would do that to people. He would just be like, those are really nice shoes. Don't you want those shoes? And this lady just beats the crap out of this other lady to get the shoes that this lady bought. Yeah, that's my story.
All right.
Yeah. It would be great to be able to give people the power. So you just be like the greatest evil person in the world.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, or you could use it for good.
Yeah, but I think with the power like that, I think most of the time in movies when people have powers like that, they're usually bad guys.
Yeah.
They're usually like, hey, why don't you go rob that bank for me?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an excellent, just for storytelling, it's an excellent power for a villain to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's that. So I think I'm over the New Year's stuff.
Yeah, me too. Wait, ask me what my New Year's resolution this year is.
But do you have one?
See, now you ruined it. Because you were going to ask me, and then I was going to be like, I don't fucking have one. And that was going to be the back and forth. And it was going to be banter.
But we're doing banter right now.
Well, I guess we are.
We're doing the back and forth.
We're doing the back and forth.
We're doing the back and forth right now with the banter and all that stuff that we're known for.
Yeah.
The witty banter, I should say.
But the first one was, and I'm going to use big words here, unilaterally contrived.
Just up in your head there.
Yeah. Just
all formulated.
Yeah, all formulated.
And I blew it.
And you fucked it up because you couldn't read my mind.
Yeah, motherfucker. I really suck at reading
How
minds.
dare you not know exactly what I was thinking and planning.
Dude, I watched the other oh yeah, dude. That was the other thing I watched this video on TikTok. TikTok. This guy was out to dinner with his wife, his kid, and like his partner that he works with and a bunch of girls, right? And they order some food. It was like a $700 bill. And all these women expected this dude that was just there with his wife and his kid to pay for it because he was the man.
Fuck that.
And that's what he was trying. He's like, no, I've told you girls. Like,
yeah, we're splitting this bill.
Like, I'm going to pay for me, my wife, and I'll pay for the birthday girls dinner, but I'm not paying for anybody. And these women like went into him, dude. They were like, you're cheap. You're this, you're that. Like any name you could call a dude, they were calling him. And his wife finally stepped in and was just like, hey, look, when you guys have a husband, he could pay for your shit. This is my husband. He's paying for me and him, and we're leaving. And these girls got up and left this guy with the tab.
Okay.
Could you imagine? I just don't understand people. This is my point with this.
Yeah.
I don't understand people that act that way.
I don't either, but there are some people in this world who suck. And then if you get them in a group,
that's like a group of sucky people.
Yeah. And
that would be awful.
And human behavior almost invariably becomes worse in a frankly inhuman way
Right.
once you get people into a group.
Yeah.
Like an individual person might not be a good person, but they're generally a reasonable individual being.
Right.
A group of people is a pack of beasts.
Yeah, but here's what I don't get about the situation. I understand that. But why would they expect a man, just because he's a man,
Yeah,
that he's supposed to pay a $700 bill?
I don't think it was the size of the bill. I think they just expected the man to pay.
Because he was like, why is that? Because here's where I think there's this, I don't know, just based on this video that I saw, right?
Yes.
Because women want to be independent and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So why do they expect the only man there to pay for their dinner?
Yes, I get where you're coming. First, let's clarify: we're not talking about all women. Just the pack of beasts on this one video.
Yeah, yeah,
and yeah, they were a pack of beasts.
Yeah, it just boggles me that they're just like, and then they just left the dude there with the 700. They're like, we ate all this food, we drank all these drinks, we're leaving.
Yeah, if I was the dude, I would not have paid $700.
I think he worked it out to where he just paid for his half, and then the restaurant went after the girl. That's people at the party.
That's what I would have done. And if the restaurant didn't work with me on it, then I would have been like, okay, you won't let me pay for my meal. I guess I'm going.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. But it just blows my mind that there's people that think that they're like, okay, if you're like out, right? You're out on a date or whatever, and the person you're with, you go out to buy a meal, right? It's usually discussed beforehand. Do you want to get checks? Do you want to get the same check, or do you want to split the bill? It's usually, I mean, at least in my experience of dating, I've always been like, you want to get the same check, or do you want to split the bill? Right? So that way, when the bill comes, there's never a question of like, who's going to pay?
Yeah.
It's going to be awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never really did the dating thing. Then again, I never did the $700 bill thing.
Yeah. That one's a little expensive. I just don't understand people that think that's not the way to go. It's like the other thing I was reading the other day where there's this, I know it's kind of old and I know it's been talked about, but it just blows my mind that there was this list of where not to take women. It was like 10 places women don't want to go to on dates.
Yeah.
You know what the number one place was?
What?
Cheesecake Factory.
I
don't understand. Dude, the Cheesecake Factory.
I'm going to tell you something. I cannot think of a single woman who I have been on a date with,
right,
who would not love to go to the Cheesecake Factory.
Dude,
everybody loves the Cheesecake Factory.
You get a big ass meal.
It's delicious every time.
It's delicious every time, and it's probably within proximity of wherever you're going to for the night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Cheesecake Factory, dope.
Yeah. I don't understand. This list boggled my mind, and I've been wanting to talk about it for a little while. Because a lot of people have talked about it before.
Yeah.
I didn't want to catch the trend or whatever. Okay. Maybe it would have been good if we did it that way, but
yeah.
There were some other things on there there was a couple on there that I agreed with, but the Cheesecake Factory, the other one I agreed with that's not, you don't really want to take a girl to on a first date is Chili's. I don't think you should be taking a woman to Chili's on your first date.
Chili's is a less good version of the Cheesecake Factory.
But Chili's is something like, you guys are like, been hanging out for a little while. You've been hanging out for a little while, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks or whatever. And you're like, oh, let's just run to Chili's real quick.
Yes, Chili's is like, let's do something easy before we bang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or after we bang, because Chili's can be kind of heavy.
Yeah,
it's more Chili's of an after bang.
It's one of those things. Maybe you guys are running late or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, let's just go to Chili's. There's a couple like that, right?
Yeah,
where you're just like, they're not bad. I wouldn't go on a first date with a woman at Chili. I wouldn't do it. The one that I would do Cheesecake Factory.
Yeah,
because I mean, fuck, dude,
Cheesecake
it's glorious.
Factory. Yeah, I see. I actually haven't been to the Cheesecake Factory in years, but I have never been invited to the Cheesecake Factory and not been honestly thrilled to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the portions are huge. And if you're with a girl that doesn't eat a lot, she's going to save that for another meal. You just bought your first date 2 meals.
Yeah. I mean, I think our society is a little past the place where a woman judges you based on how well you provide food for her.
I don't know. There's some women that there's some women
But
that,
then again, it depends on the woman.
Yeah, it depends on the woman.
Depends, yeah.
It all depends on the woman.
Yeah.
But there are some other things that I agree with. There's a couple other things. I wish I could just pull the list. I probably could pull the list up, but I need you to do
all right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to kill a little time.
Kill a little time and tell a story.
I agree with the idea that the Cheesecake Factory is not a good place for a first date. And that's only because going out for dinner, I don't think is good for a first date. What you want to do is go play mini golf.
You've said the mini golf thing before.
Maybe go to the batting cages.
But see, you could do the Cheesecake Factory after you do the mini golf or the batting cages.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You could. But
that would be a stellar date, in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe like a walk around a pond with ducks in it.
Yes.
And bring fucking crackers or bread or something to feed the ducks. Just something real chill and dinners. So you got to sit like across a table from each other, look at each other right in the face, this complete stranger who you honestly probably are either just hoping to fuck or hoping or thinking that this was a mistake and how do I get out of it?
Yeah, this guy did nothing like his profile picture.
Yeah. So yeah, man, fucking a little mini golf or just something like that.
Oh yeah, here it is. I got the list now.
And something that's not much of a time commitment.
The other one on here is any fast food chain, which I could agree with.
I agree with that.
You don't want to go to that's just cheap.
Yeah, but then,
bros, if you're out there thinking Taco Bell is a good first date,
yeah, but
come on.
If you've been going out for a couple of weeks and you're both a little hungry, you want some pre or post bang nourishment.
Taco Bell's right up the street.
Fucking, I don't know about Taco Bell, but actually, yeah, Taco Bell, really any fast food, if there's a drive-through, it's great.
Yeah. And here's one that I don't understand that I think would be is a pretty good thing because I've done them in the past. Are coffee dates.
Coffee dates are good.
Yeah, but that's women don't want to go there.
Again, it's like here's the thing about a coffee date though, again, because it's much less of a commitment than a dinner date.
Right.
But at the same time, it's still you and the other person sitting down, stationary.
You could bail quickly on a coffee date.
You can bail
more than you could if you're out to dinner with somebody that makes you uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're a woman and you meet a guy at Starbucks and he's starting to creep you out or whatever, it's easier for you to escape.
Absolutely.
Than it is if you're at a restaurant with some dude and he's turning out to be a creep. Because I get where some of these are coming from because women get creeped out not easily, but a lot of dudes are weird.
Yes.
A lot of dudes
I do not dispute that.
A lot of dudes do some weird shit.
Yes.
When it comes to women.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm sorry if we creep you out.
Yes. I also am sorry. Look, I've been told that I've done some creepy things in my time.
Yeah, I think I've done some creepy things in my time too.
And for that I apologize.
I'm just a dude trying to get better.
I was just a dude trying to get some. But yeah.
I learned later on in life that honesty is the best policy.
It really is. It's
like
wild,
if you're just straight up about it, like I just want to bang, and the girl's like, "Oh no, I don't want to do that." You're like, "Cool." Then I'm out of you.
Yeah, we've all saved a lot of time and energy and money.
I know. There's no.
I don't need to buy a Cheesecake Factory,
dude. That was like a Jedi mind trick to me. It was like, oh, all I could say is I just want to bang. Oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Until it got tiring. Church.
That's
women don't want to go to. See, here's the thing. I blame some dude in like fucking New York. I blame some dude in like fucking Boston or something like that took a woman to church on the first date. I don't know why I just said Boston, but it seems like an East Coast. That's something you would do on the East Coast.
Go to church on a first date.
Mother. Church with your mother.
Church with your mother on a first date. No, that's not something anybody does. No. That's something Bobby Boucher might do, but that's it.
I don't know why I said Boston either. I didn't mean to get Boston. Boston's a great city.
Yeah, and one that's not renowned for gentlemen in introducing ladies to their mother at church on a first date.
Maybe it would be some southern state they would do that then.
I
That seems like a southern thing.
It could be. Look,
Like fucking deep south.
I would never in a million years introduce a date to my mother on the
Yeah.
on the first
At church?
at church. Well, I've never been to
I've never
church.
been to church either.
I went to mass.
No, that's a lie. I've been to church.
Yeah, I went to a Catholic mass one time.
I've been to church plenty of times.
Good for you. Anyway, but it doesn't seem like a good date place unless you're like really into Jesus and
See,
you
that's
just
the thing. If you're into Jesus,
yeah, and but you're like really into it.
right?
And you're trying to weed out the people who are just like, haha, I'm a casual Christian or whatever. So you take them to church on a first date, and if they're into
if they melt from all the sin, if they go through the door and they melt from all the sin,
then you know,
God's got your back.
You know, God's got your back. You also know you got someone you can bang but not marry.
Yeah.
And then
now she's melted when you walk through the door, so I don't think you'd be doing much banging.
I don't know. Christians do all sorts of weird shit. I could see them. I mean, I can see the justification. If it's just the melted goo left over from her body, I can fuck it and it's not a sin.
It's not a sin,
right? It's both not masturbation and it's not sex with the woman because it's just a puddle of goo, right?
With this, I got this picture in my head of this melted goo with, like, you know, those cartoons where something would melt, like a person would melt, and like a part of their skulls didn't get melted or some shit like that. There's like an eyeball left in there. There's just some chick with like just a little eyeball in her skull. This dude's like, hell yeah, I'm gonna just scoop this up right here, take it back to my apartment. Nobody needs to know.
Yeah,
it's all right, God.
There you go. There you go. I want to apologize if we're offending any
Christians?
Listeners. Yeah, but I mean, tell me if I'm not wrong that you would love some way to get your nut off without sinning, right?
Right. I'm sure.
Like
I know a lot of really good Christian people that would find that what we talked about humorous.
Yeah. I mean, the shit that they do in Utah. Oh my God.
That's some weird shit.
The floating and the soaking.
What?
Yeah, you not heard of floating and soaking?
No.
All right, so
are we getting dark all of a sudden?
Nah, man, we're not. We're getting light. So
are we going to the light?
Yeah. So soaking is when the man puts his, let's call it penis,
right, inside
of the woman's, let's call it vagina, but he doesn't move around, so there's no friction.
So it's like like docking.
It's kind of like docking, and they're just there.
What do they do?
They don't move. So that's soaking.
That's weird.
Yeah, and apparently it's not a sin because there's no friction. It's like they've coupled, but they're not coupling. I don't know. Anyway, and then there's floating, and that's where you get a friend to jump on the bed so that as you two bounce around while one is inside of the other, the friend is creating the friction.
But isn't the friend, wouldn't the friend be the one going to hell then?
The friend's just jumping on the bed. Listen, dude.
Dude,
these are the fucking mind tricks that Mormon children play on themselves to get a nut off. It's insane.
Weird.
Back in my day, they just did butt stuff.
Yeah. Butt stuff was, I knew a girl who only did butt stuff because she was saving herself for marriage.
We all did.
Yeah.
We all did.
Yeah.
And that was super common in Utah. Oh my God.
Yeah, but it was a girl that I knew out here in California.
Yeah, they do it everywhere. Yeah.
It's interesting. So I got one more and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah. Continue.
I'll go through them. You tell me which ones stick out to you. Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, I wouldn't take a girl there on a first date. Olive Garden, wouldn't take a girl there on a first date.
Olive Garden, garbage food.
Yeah.
It's the McDonald's.
Red Lobster, I don't even know.
I've never been to one.
I've been to one once, and I got food poisoning.
In Rohnert Park, there's a Red Lobster that shares a parking lot with Olive Garden.
But here's the one. Here's the last one I'll do. Family functions.
Family functions for a first date?
For a first date, dude.
Wow, that's diving in deep. Then again, if you really are like looking for a wife or something.
Yeah, if you're a family dude, if family's a big deal to you, and
If you're looking for that one person, not
But
just
see, the other part of me is that's why so many girls think guys are creepy, because maybe they don't even tell them. Maybe they don't even tell them, like, hey, I got our whole first date plan, and next thing she knows is it's like she's at this fucking weird ass backward fucking Mormon family gathering.
yeah, where they're just fucking where they're just serving white bread smeared with mayonnaise,
and the kids are in the bedroom floating.
and the kids are in the bedroom floating. Yeah,
That would be an awful first date, and I'd be fucking out of there if I was a chick.
I'd be out of there if I was a dude.
Yeah, it would be. I would be too.
Yeah,
But it's just like, where do you go as a dude, as a man?
Yeah.
Where does it kind of, oh yeah, I got this family birthday party I gotta go to. I'll take my first date.
I guess I'll take a date.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, bad.
Like, where do dudes come up with these ideas? Like,
Yeah.
I thought my first date's ideas were kind of bad. Now I'm like, oh, mine aren't that bad.
Yeah. But all that said, if you're just looking to fucking like, if you're looking for a wife and you just want to weed out the ones who aren't gonna like
Right.
make it,
Yeah.
fucking take them to the family barbecue.
Yeah, let them see how weird your family is.
And if they like it, great. You know, this might work.
Yeah, it might work.
And if not, hey.
But see, I think that has to come with, before the first date, that has to come with like clear communicate, like, hey, this is my intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at least for me, like, if I'm just into banging a chick,
Yeah.
I'm going to just tell her, like, this is all it is.
Well, you want to
Like,
butter her up a bit first.
no, I'm pretty straightforward with it.
Okay.
Like, I don't play around. I don't play games. I'm not like, I'm a guy that doesn't even know when a woman's flirting with me. So I just come out and say it.
I'm like that too.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, and it's not like, it's only if like I'm hanging out with the girl and I know the vibes there. Like, you know when a vibe's there.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But if it's a girl I'm interested in dating, I let them know that too, pretty much right off the bat. Like, hey, I'd like to take you out, maybe sometime. You know what I mean? It's a different conversation,
That is a different conversation.
right? But I'm not going to take them to a family function on a first date. I'm just not going to do that.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's not the thing to do.
I would take him to maybe in a girl that I'm just banging.
Mm-hmm.
I would take him to just Taco Bell for, if this is our first go around.
I wouldn't want to take him anywhere that might result in like farts
It would be after. It would be like on the way home.
on the way home.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, thanks for a good time. Have some Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Let's do this again
Yeah,
sometime.
let's have some fun again.
Yeah, let's have some fun again. Taco Bell is an incentive. There you go.
Yeah, here you go.
I get that.
Throw that down
Yeah.
your throat.
I totally get throw that down your throat. Yeah, I get that.
Anyway, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
It seems like a pretty good episode.
Absolutely.
If you've listened all the way through,
Thank you.
we appreciate you.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. And I just have to say it's nice now to have recorded 2 episodes in a row that I think both are going to get put out into the world.
Yeah, and they're not dark as fuck.
They're not so dark that we can't put them out in the world.
This is light, people. This
This
is
is-
light.
this
Some of the
is
shit
nice
we
and light.
recorded and not released,
Yeah.
it's not going to see the light of day. But we've done some pretty dark episodes where we were just like, nah, that's not okay.
We recently recorded 2 episodes in a row. And they were we talked about completely different things on each of the episodes, but they were both so dark and fucked up, we could not put them out there.
We're saving your ears, America, or wherever you listen.
We're also saving our reputations, America. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you for listening. If you like our show, leave us a review. It really helps us out.
Yeah.
You could do that pretty much anywhere you listen to podcasts these days, I think.
Yeah. And if there's anything you want us to talk about,
you can shoot us an email, shaneandI@gmail.com.
Yeah.
And you can go to our website. There's a link on the website where you can shoot us an email. And if you got something you want us to talk about, send us an email and we'll do it.
Can they just leave it in the comments?
They can leave it in the comments too.
You can just leave it in the comments. Don't even need to email.
There you go.
Yeah.
I don't know where they're going to comment, but
Well, there's like on the apps.
on the apps.
apps.
You
there's-
sound old.
I'm look.
On them their apps.
Look, I
I'm
remember
trying to end this episode, bro.
whatever. I remember back when we called apps applications,
Yeah.
and then Apple started calling them apps, and I was like, Psh, that's never going to catch on. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, here we are.
Here we
calling
are
them out.
calling them apps.
Anyway, yeah, man, leave us a review. You want to give us a topic, do so any way you see fit. You want to send us smoke signals, do so. I don't care. But until next time, don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Bye.
Get cheesecake.